The pre-war storm, navigating global threats in the 1930s. Greetings and welcome to our channel, where today we delve into the complex geopolitical arena of the 1930s, a decade rife with challenges to British naval supremacy and global stability. The German challenge. By the mid-1930s, Germany's resurgence under Nazi rule posed significant threats. Adolf Hitler's Germany, invigorated by rapid industrialization and violation of the Treaty of Versailles, propelled itself into a formidable military power. This rearmament disrupted the balance in Europe, threatening Britain's traditional dominance. Japanese expansionism. Across the globe, a different menace was rising. Japan had embarked on a vigorous expansionist agenda, pressuring British interests in the East. The withdrawal from the Anglo-Japanese alliance, following the United States' objection, and the Washington Naval Treaty underscored a shifting balance in the Pacific. Japan's military buildup, juxtaposed against British possessions in China, Hong Kong, and potential ramifications for Australia and New Zealand, signified a crucial strategic threat. Italy's Mediterranean aspirations. In the Mediterranean, Mussolini was maneuvering to expand Italy's influence. His ambitions spanned from North Africa to the Mediterranean, threatening key British maritime routes. The control over the Suez Canal, vital for British access to the Far East, was at stake, illustrating a multidimensional threat to British dominance. Diplomacy and limitations. Britain attempted to navigate these threats through diplomacy. Yet, the effectiveness of multilateral treaties was hampered by the United States' reluctance to engage in European matters and the League of Nations' diminishing influence. Strained relations with France further compounded Britain's challenge, putting diplomatic solutions on uncertain ground. The Manchurian Crisis. Japan's militaristic aggression was most pronounced in the Manchurian Crisis of 1931, where fabricated provocations facilitated their takeover. The League of Nations' insufficient response to enforce a withdrawal showcased its impotence. This crisis laid bare the vulnerabilities inherent in global diplomatic mechanisms of the time. Italy's Abyssinian invasion. Meanwhile, Mussolini's reckless pursuit of an empire led to the invasion of Abyssinia in 1935. Despite international condemnation and League-imposed sanctions, Italy succeeded. This aggression further discredited the League and displayed the waning influence of collective action against aggression. The Rhineland and beyond. Germany's remilitarization of the Rhineland in 1936 symbolized a direct challenge to post-WWI treaties. Despite clear treaty violations, Britain and France's decision against military intervention highlighted their strategic posturing. This inaction can be seen as a turning point, emboldening further German territorial ambitions. The policy of appeasement. In the face of escalating threats, Britain adopted a controversial policy of appeasement. Prime Minister Neville, driven by aversion to war and domestic constraints, sought dialogue with Hitler to avoid conflict. The Spanish Civil War and international responses. As the Spanish Civil War erupted in 1936, it became a proxy battleground for fascism and communism, exposing deep ideological fractures in Europe. Despite calculated non-intervention by Britain and France, the involvement of Italy and Germany signified the war's broader implications for European stability. Conclusion. In conclusion, the 1930s were characterized by multifaceted threats challenging British global influence. Failures in diplomacy, the breakdown of collective security, and aggressive territorial expansions by Germany, Japan, and Italy created a prelude to global conflict. Call to action. If this exploration of pre-war tensions intrigued you, consider subscribing for more in-depth historical analyses. Leave a comment with your thoughts on appeasement and its implications for modern geopolitics. Credits and acknowledgements. Special thanks to historical archives and scholarly contributions that enriched our understanding of this intricate period. Thank you for watching and engaging with our content.